I was smiling when he said it. That's what still haunts me. The restaurant was all glass and lacquered wood, city lights sliding across the table like secrets. My husband sat to my right, the Japanese client to my left. I played the role perfectly. Polite nods, soft laughter, eyes lowered. The obedient wife who didn't speak the language. Then my husband leaned in, confident, careless. "She doesn't know," he said in Japanese. "After the merger, she'll sign. Divorce will be clean. The shares will transfer quietly." I felt the blood leave my face, but I didn't move. I took a sip of water. I kept smiling, because in that moment, something colder than pain took hold. Clarity. I married him before the suits, before the boardrooms, before the arrogance hardened his voice, back when we split takeout on the floor and argued about books. I built the early scaffolding of his company, contacts, seed capital, introductions he still pretends were luck. I never corrected him when he called it his empire. I never needed to. Love makes you generous. Betrayal makes you precise. The rest of the dinner passed in fragments. He spoke, the client nodded, I listened. Every word etched itself into memory. They were discussing timelines, my exit, my replacement. I excused myself to the restroom and locked the door. My hands shook once, just once, then they steadied. I looked at my reflection and made a decision that felt ancient and final. If he thought I was ignorant, I would remain invisible. If he thought I was powerless, I would let him proceed. I didn't confront him. That's the mistake emotional people make. They demand truth from liars. Instead, I audited everything. Quietly. I reviewed trust documents I hadn't opened in years. The retirement trust my father insisted on before he passed. The one my husband mocked as old money paranoia. It wasn't paranoia. It was foresight. The trust had voting rights, majority rights, a clause activated by spousal misconduct, tied to corporate harm. Infidelity alone wouldn't trigger it, but conspiracy would. So I needed proof. I hired no one who could be traced. I spoke little. I listened more. I let him believe his plan was unfolding smoothly. I signed what he expected me to sign, except I signed copies. I backed up emails, recorded calls, translated conversations he assumed were safe. Every night he slept beside me. Every morning I sharpened the blade he never saw. By Friday, I had enough. "You're outdated. We're done here," the CEO hissed. It was his office, his tone, his moment. I replied quietly, "Understood." That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The agenda was short. The question wasn't. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? The room smelled like panic and expensive coffee. My husband stood at the head of the table, face tight, voice rehearsed. He didn't look at me until the lawyer slid the documents forward. He read, then reread. The color drained from his skin. The Japanese client shifted uncomfortably. He recognized the phrasing, the language, the trap closing. I finally spoke, in fluent Japanese. "I'm sorry," I said calmly. "Did you believe I didn't understand you?" Silence collapsed inward. I laid out the evidence, not dramatically, methodically. Dates, translations, recordings, the trust clause highlighted in yellow. This wasn't revenge, it was correction. The board voted, unanimous. He was removed for breach of fiduciary duty. The client severed ties to avoid exposure. The merger died in the room. My husband tried to speak. No sound came out. For the first time, he understood the shape of power and how little of it he had. The divorce was not clean. It was surgical. He kept the car, I kept the company. The press release framed it as a strategic leadership realignment. He signed the settlement with hands that trembled. He never asked how long I'd known. He never apologized. Cowards rarely do. Now I sit alone in the office he once ruled. The city still glitters, the glass still reflects, but the air feels lighter. I think about the woman at that dinner, smiling, silent, listening. She wasn't weak, she was waiting. Betrayal didn't break me, it clarified me. And the most satisfying part? I never raised my voice. I never begged. I never warned him. I understood. Then I ended it on my terms.